The tennis world is in shock. Center court has witnessed one of the biggest upsets in recent Wimbledon history. Defending champion Iga Świątek has been dethroned, falling in straight sets to a fearless 21-year-old from the Philippines. But the shockwaves didn't stop there. In the locker room, in the players' lounge, and across the tennis world, one reaction has stood out above all others. Aryna Sabalenka, the world number one, watched it all unfold. And she couldn't believe what she was seeing. With her two biggest rivals, the defending champion Świątek and the 2022 champion Elena Rybakina, both crashing out on the same day, Sabalenka's path to her first Wimbledon title suddenly looked wide open. For more coverage in tennis, subscribe and hit the notification bell. The 2026 Wimbledon Championships will be remembered for many things, but one day will stand above all others. July 4th, 2026. A day that will go down in tennis history. On this single day, the women's draw lost its two biggest champions. First came the news from Court 1. Elena Rybakina, the 2022 Wimbledon champion and world number 2, had been stunned in straight sets by Belgium's Elise Mertens. The Kazakh star, who had been one of the favorites for the title, was out before the second week. Her dream of winning a second Wimbledon crown was over, but that was just the beginning. An hour later, the center court crowd witnessed something even more extraordinary. Defending champion Iga Świątek, the world number 3 and 6-time Grand Slam winner, was locked in a battle with a player who had beaten her once before, Alex Eala of the Philippines. The first set was a war. It lasted 84 minutes and featured a tense tiebreak that swung back and forth. Świątek had 2 set points, but Eala refused to back down, saving both and clinching the set on her 4th set point. The second set was even more shocking. Eala, riding the wave of momentum, stormed to a 4-0 lead. Świątek, visibly frustrated, tried to fight back, but she had no answers for Eala's relentless aggression and precision. The final score was 7-6, 11-9, 6-2. Świątek's reign was over. She had become the first woman since Serena Williams in 2016 to successfully defend her Wimbledon title, and no woman has done it since. The statistics told a story of a champion who had been completely outplayed. Świątek hit 32 winners but committed a staggering 44 unforced errors. Her frustration boiled over as she yelled at her box and slammed her racket into her chair. Eala, in contrast, was composed, hitting 24 winners against 21 unforced errors. She converted 5 of her 7 breakpoint opportunities and saved 8 of the 11 breakpoints she faced from Świątek. This was not just a win, it was a statement. In the midst of the chaos, one player watched with particular interest. Aryna Sabalenka, the world number 1, was already through to the 4th round without dropping a set. She had been impressive, serving well and controlling her matches. But she knew that the biggest threats to her title chances were the 2 women who had just been eliminated, Rybakina and Świątek. Both had beaten her in majors before. Both had tested her. Both were now gone. The moment the results came in, Sabalenka's reaction was one of shock and surprise. The tennis world had been expecting a deep run from the Polish star, but Eala had other plans. Sabalenka had been speaking about her respect for Świątek's game and her determination to win her first Wimbledon title. She had been fully aware of the challenge posed by the defending champion and the 2022 winner. Now, with both of them out of the picture, Sabalenka's path to the title had become significantly easier. It's likely she had to take a moment to process the news. The absence of 2 major rivals in the same half of the draw was a seismic shift, and her reaction was a mix of disbelief and a quiet acknowledgement that the opportunity of a lifetime had just opened up. Sabalenka's journey to the Wimbledon title, which had been fraught with challenges, suddenly looked more achievable. The road to her first Wimbledon title was far less treacherous. The carnage around her had cleared, and the title was there for the taking. The world number 1 had lost to a string of different players in her previous Wimbledon runs, but now she had a chance to make history. The 2 major threats to her title defense, the defending champion Świątek and former winner Rybakina, were both out on the same day. The stage was set for Sabalenka to finally claim the one major title that had eluded her. While Sabalenka might have been relieved to see her biggest rivals eliminated, she would be wise not to underestimate the player who caused the upset. Alex Eala is not just a flash in the pan, she has been on a remarkable rise, and her victory over Świątek was the culmination of a season of growth and improvement. This was not her first win over a top player. In fact, it was her 7th career win against a top 10 opponent. Eala has already beaten Świątek at the 2025 Miami Open, and her win at Wimbledon improved her head-to-head record against the Pole to 2-1. Eala's style of play is also perfectly suited to the grass courts. Her left-handedness, with its tricky slice serve and flat ground strokes, makes her a nightmare to face. She gets down low to adjust to the uneven bounces, and her movement is exceptional. More importantly, she has a belief that she belongs on the biggest stages. As she said after her victory, maybe for someone like Iga, who has won so many slams, or maybe someone like Serena or Venus Williams, this achievement may seem small, but for someone who grew up in the Philippines, for her, this is everything. The BBC's coverage highlighted Eala's emotional reaction after the match, showing her dropping to her knees and rolling onto her back on center court after the victory. Her post-match interview was a heartfelt tribute to her country and her journey. She is the first Filipino, male or female, to reach the fourth round of a Grand Slam singles tournament. The Sports Illustrated analysis of her win noted that she is a trailblazer, and with just one top 10 seed remaining in her half of the draw, the question is, why not her? Sabalenka's reaction to the Świątek loss might have been one of shock, but she also needs to recognize that she has a new, dangerous contender to deal with. A player who has already proven she can beat the best and who is playing with the belief that she can do it again. The victory by Alex Eala didn't just eliminate the defending champion. It changed the entire landscape of the Wimbledon women's draw. The domino effects of her shocking win are still being felt across the tennis world. Eala's win, combined with Rybakina's loss, created an unprecedented opportunity for the remaining players in the tournament. The bottom half of the draw looked far less scary than it had at the start of the day, with both Rybakina and Świątek, players who have tested and beaten the world #1 at majors in the past, now out of the picture. The ranking implications are also massive. Świątek's early exit caused her to lose a total of 1,870 ranking points, dropping her to number 6 in the live rankings. Rybakina, the Australian Open champion, lost the chance to challenge Sabalenka for the world #1 ranking. Sabalenka, regardless of what happens for the rest of the tournament, remains as the top-ranked player. The WTA rankings will see a significant reshuffle as a result of these upsets. For Eala, the win has propelled her into the second week of a Grand Slam for the first time, a huge breakthrough in her career. The confidence she gained from this win will be immeasurable. She has proven that she can handle the pressure of center court and the weight of a nation's expectations. Her next challenge is Jasmine Paolini, the 13th seed and 2024 runner-up. A win over the Italian would see her advance to the quarterfinals of a major, an achievement that would further cement her status as one of the most exciting young players in the game. With just one top 10 seed remaining in her half of the draw, the question is, why not her? Let us zoom out. Aryna Sabalenka's shock at Alex Eala's Wimbledon victory is a sign of the changing nature of tennis. The sport is becoming more global, more diverse, and more unpredictable. Players like Alex Eala are not just athletes, they are cultural phenomena. They represent nations, inspire communities, and bring new audiences to the sport. Eala's journey from a young girl in Manila to a Wimbledon sensation is an inspiration. She has already achieved more than any Filipino player before her. She is the first to be seeded at Wimbledon. She is the first to reach the second week of a Grand Slam. She has beaten the best players in the world. The victory was not just a personal achievement. It was a moment of national pride. The Philippines had never had a player who could compete at this level. Eala has broken through barriers and created new possibilities for young Filipinos. She has shown the world that greatness can come from anywhere. Her post-match words, "This goes out to them, to my family, and to all the little girls with ruffled socks and chubby cheeks," captured the hearts of millions. The road ahead is challenging. Wimbledon is the biggest stage in tennis. The competition is fierce. The pressure is immense. But Alex Eala has never shied away from a challenge. She has faced adversity and overcome it. She has proven that she belongs on the biggest stages. The tennis world is watching. The Philippines is praying. And Alex Eala is ready for the next challenge. Her historic run is just the latest chapter in her incredible journey. Aryna Sabalenka may not have believed what she saw, but the world is starting to believe in Alex Eala. For more coverage in tennis, subscribe and hit the notification bell.